Now, retirement might seem light years away for some, but when it comes to getting started with your retirement planning, are you on the right track? A new study from Northwestern Mutual showed Americans expect they should save nearly $1.3 million for retirement. But the average U.S. adult only has 7% of that target amount in the bank. So what can you do ahead to plan? Kerry Carbonaro, Advisors Capital Management Senior Vice President, and Mark Miller, author of Retirement Reboot, Common Sense Financial Strategies for Getting Back on Track. They join me now. Kerry, let me just throw this to you. We've had an incredible year in the markets, but admittedly, it's left a lot of people behind, just kind of demonstrating why you need to be in the market. Yeah. How should younger people be thinking about their retirement needs right now?
So young people necessarily don't always think about their retirement because they always have other priorities that they put ahead of retirement. But I always say you can't borrow for retirement. So you have to start and you have to own your own financial future. So all the young people, I need them to get on budgets and then find the money in their budgets to contribute to their 401ks or IRAs or any type of workplace retirement plans, because if they start now, it is amazing how compounding interest will grow for them over time, and they are going to meet that retirement goal of $1.3 million, at least as it is today, if you've got 30, 40 years to save.
And Mark, similar question to you, and I'm noting as you're writing to us, at least half of us are on track for an unsuccessful retirement. How do we fix that?
Well, yeah, and that just defining that simply is the ability to maintain your standard of living in retirement. You know, with respect to younger generations, a couple of key concerns that I have are that, fewer young people are going to receive traditional defined benefit pensions than previous generations, which are incredibly important sources of retirement security. And also, younger people are going to receive less in Social Security benefits when we look at that in terms of the amount of pre-retirement income that Social Security replaces will be lower for everybody born after 1960 because of the higher retirement ages put in place. So, I agree that the good news is that, time is on your side when you're young. I agree with Kerry's point there in terms of compounding, but I would just add this. I actually think, even though I write about retirement for a living, I think sometimes there are other things you should be doing first. I don't think you should be carrying high cost debt, for example. If there's an available dollars to use, I would use it to reduce high cost debt rather than going into a 401k. But that said, so I think cleaning up your household budget is critical, and getting even small contributions. I often tell young people, put away what you can, even if it's a small amount, because it will compound and redound to your benefit over time.
Kerry, we've seen dynamics of the pandemic play out over the last few years. We've seen retirement kind of get redefined in a few different ways. We have the rise of the gig economy, so older people now have more options for doing part-time work. What are some of the trends you've noticed change with respect to retirement and retirement thinking over the last few years?
So there's a lot of retirement rewirement I've heard that term a lot.
I like that.
Where people are deciding, what is retirement? Am I going to retire? Am I going to just slow down and get a part-time job? There's also the three different phases of retirement. I don't know if you've heard of them: the go-go, the slow-go, and the no-go. And so that actually affects how much you need to save, and that you're going to be spending a lot in the beginning. Medium amount in the middle, and then, not as much in the end when you just can't move as much anymore. But what's also interesting with the new gig economy and everything is something that we never had before is the social media success porn, which a lot of people are looking at, young people and people pretending to be rich and having these amazing lifestyles. And it's all really not real. The TikTok and Instagrams of the world are showing all this, and people are actually believing it. And I always say, there's no get rich quick, only get rich slow. So be careful where you get your advice from.
Yeah, so social media might be misleading. I can take that. I'll believe in that. Mark, I want to take it back to you. We've been talking about some of the younger generations here. What if you find yourself maybe in the middle stages of one's life and you haven't just saved enough? How do you catch up? What are some of the strategies that somebody who's a little bit older but hasn't saved enough can use to get on track?
Yeah, that's really the core focus of my book. And what I'm trying to explain in there is that even for people who are getting a late start, there are definitely steps you can take. So one of the most important ones, I think, is to understand the critical importance of the timing of retirement, which I think Kerry was just mentioning. Working even a few more years than you had planned can be an incredibly important lever, both because it allows you to delay your Social Security filing and hence claim higher benefits from the delayed retirement credit. It might allow you to do more catch-up saving late in the game. And net, it means fewer years that you're going to be financing through your savings because you're pushing out that retirement date. So I illustrate that through some hypotheticals, in the book. And I think, there are definitely things that people can do. I have a chapter in there on home equity. And, for most households, even those that haven't saved in retirement accounts, the majority of older households do own a home. And so, the home equity turns out to be the largest source of savings for lots of Americans. So it would be silly not to at least consider tapping that one way or the other, whether that's downsizing and moving or other means. So there's just some of the things that I explore in there. I think it's important to be really careful and thoughtful about your Social Security claim. And it's really important to understand healthcare, the cost of healthcare and retirement, and the importance of making smart decisions about Medicare.
And Kerry, your thoughts about the timing of retirement and how that fits into planning for it?
Sure. So yeah, it obviously it depends on what you're planning, when you're planning, where you're going to live, how much you're going to spend. There's so many factors, your longevity of your life. There's so many things that go into this, and I always say there's no one size fits all when it comes to financial planning. So I believe, getting with an expert, if it's really serious for you, to go in and make sure that you're maximizing everything that you're doing on your savings, make sure that you're making the right decisions, like Mark said, about Social Security. When are you going to take it? Do you have a pension? Obviously, most people do not at this point. So that makes a big difference of why retirement planning is so important today as versus what it was 25 years ago when we had pensions and when the onus shifted from pensions to 401ks, which now the onus is on us. Also, I believe that it's really important, where are you going to live? Are you going to, yes, you're going to tap maybe your equity in your home, but are you going to downsize? And what states are you going to live in? Because obviously some states are more budget friendly when it comes to retirement. Mm-hmm. And that could really make a difference with, can you retire successfully or not? Could be even where you live.
Yeah, important.
Yeah, the importance of, could I just add something
jump
there?
In. We got time for one more. You got the last word.
Thank you. Regarding getting advice and planning help, I think it's really critical for people getting closer to retirement. I think when you're young, the big goal is just save as much as you can, clean up your household budget. But things get more complicated as you get close to retirement and in retirement. So, I include a chapter in the book about how to hire a planner. I think you want to look for a fiduciary planner who can help you, who's, obligated to put your interests first. And that's, planning help can be great, but you have to find the right type of help.
All right. Really appreciate
Mark, that's me.
Really appreciate both of your insights here. Thank you for stopping by, Kerry Carbonaro and Mark Miller.